My name is Saskia Lohr-Hansen and I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor Engagement at Aston University. Thank you to all of you for your hard work in keeping the university going during this challenging time. It's been wonderful to see how the community has come together in order to keep our university running whilst also keeping our students and staff safe. The Executive's attention is now focused on how we manage delivery for the year ahead. In this short set of videos, Helen Hickston now will present the work we're doing to prepare for the coming academic year. I will focus on an assessment of the external environment and what this means for student recruitment and in turn revenue. Helen will then talk about the Aston Students First project. We started the year in a very strong position in terms of student recruitment. We had high application numbers for both our undergraduate home and international student tracks and were ready for a really great year. COVID-19, however, has now changed this position, and we're working hard to ensure we can persuade applicants to stick with their plans to come to Aston. What is happening then around our undergraduate home applicants? This will be a very different year than what our school leavers had anticipated. They will not have A-level and GCSE exams, but receive calculated marks and the option to sit exams later in the autumn if they want to. The UCAS deadline for accepting offers has been delayed to the 18th of June, and this in turn is delaying applicant decision making. The Office for Students has put in place stringent measures to protect applicants and to create a fair and level playing field. It has proposed new regulations, including heavy penalties for providers who are in breach of what is considered to be appropriate competitive behaviour. And what does this all mean for the decisions that school leavers are making about coming to university? UCAS during this time has been conducting regular surveys on how applicants plan for the year ahead. Understandably, the responses reflect the uncertain environment. The latest survey has 43% of respondents expressing concern about missing out on the real university experience, and 42% worry about having to learn online. Almost half of the applicants have considered changing their university choice, and 19% are considering deferring to next year. So potentially some really big shifts in the marketplace. Consequently, we're doing a lot of work with our applicant pool. We're running virtual applicant visit days. We'll be running the July open day virtually. We have podcasts and live chats with academic colleagues and virtual engagement with schools, colleges, school leavers and parents. We had expected more significant EU students to come to the UK this year before the end of the Brexit transition period. However, Europe has also been hit hard in terms of COVID-19, and we have to be realistic that not all EU students will be able to join us. What then is happening around our international students? We expect the biggest reduction in student numbers to come from international students. And this is really disappointing, as the introduction of the post-study work visa had resulted in significant interest for study in the UK and at Aston. Health and safety is currently the #1 concern for students and their families. And unfortunately, a recent external survey of a large group of international applicants has reported that students feel the UK is second only to the US in being the least safe. For us, this means students possibly thinking again about their choice of study and perhaps now choosing other destinations like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, where the response to the pandemic is perceived to have been more robust. Our ability to keep our students and staff safe is of paramount importance, and so is articulating to our applicants exactly how we will do this. We have seen significant growth in the number of applicants from India, Pakistan, and West Africa. Surveys on the Indian postgrad taught applicant pool reflects a reluctance for applicants to start online if, for whatever reason, it is not possible for them to start study on campus in September. Their preference then is to delay their start and come in January, or indeed even later. The preference to start either in September online or defer to either January or September 2021 start is very different by market. In order to maximise revenue during this period, it is vitally important that we are as flexible as we possibly can be to support the variety in student preferences. There are, of course, also extensive travel restrictions across the world and reductions and restrictions in the number of commercial flights available. So even if new students want to come, they may not be able to come as and when they want. The same, of course, goes for some, if not many, of our returning international and EU students. Having said all of this, we are still getting applications from international students every week. So there clearly is an appetite out there in the world to come and study with us at Aston. And finally, also a comment on postgraduate taught home student opportunities. We know that employment opportunities will be challenging for our 2020 graduating cohort. We are consequently promoting the Aston Alumni Scholarships to this cohort in case any of our graduates would prefer further study to entering a labour market at a very challenging point in time. We're also focusing on the upskilling and reskilling opportunities that arise through a major crisis like COVID-19 and hope that we may attract more students to come to Aston for PGT study. And what, in conclusion, does all of this mean for Aston? We cannot control what happens in the external environment, but we can control how Aston responds to the challenges in the marketplace. Wellbeing and safety are key concerns for both prospective and current students, and this is at the very heart of our planning. Applicants and returning students are concerned about missing out on the real university experience and worried about online study. High quality and engaging online delivery will be critical, as will sensible use of face-to-face teaching where possible, complemented by a strong virtual university offer. We need flexibility, and we need extensive use of a January or further delayed start to capture students who are not prepared to start online study. We need to give students the confidence to join Aston and for our returning students to return. This will require significant work in the months ahead, and we'll all need to work together to make all of this happen. The Student First project is in place to support all of this work, and Helen will now talk more about what this means in practice.